Good afternoon. Your Excellency, Dr. Angela Merkel, Chancellor of the Federal Republic of Germany, Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, Honorable Ministers, distinguished guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you to today's ceremony where 5 documents will be exchanged. First, we have the Joint Declaration of Intent on consultations for the period 2020-2024. This will be exchanged on the German side by His Excellency Mr. Heiko Maas, Foreign Minister of Germany, and on the Indian side by Dr. S. Jaishankar, the Minister for External Affairs. Next, we have the Joint Declaration of Intent regarding cooperation on strategic projects. This will be exchanged on the German side by Mr. Christian Hirte, Parliamentary State Secretary, Ministry of Economic Affairs and Energy, and on the Indian side by Shri Vinod Kumar Yadav, Chairman, Railway Board. Third is a joint declaration of intent on Indo-German partnership for green urban mobility. This will be exchanged on the German side by Mr. Norbert Bartley, Parliamentary State Secretary for the Ministry of Economic Cooperation and Development, and on the Indian side by Shri Durga Shankar Mishra, Secretary, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Next is a joint declaration of intent regarding the cooperation in the field of prevention of marine litter. This will be exchanged on the German side by Mr. Jochen Flassbarth, Parliamentary State Secretary, Ministry for Environment, Nature Conservation and Nuclear Safety, and on the Indian side by Shri Durga Shankar Mishra, Secretary, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. The fifth document is a joint declaration of intent for joint cooperation in research and development on artificial intelligence. This will be exchanged on the German side by Ms. Anja Karliczek, Minister of Education and Research, and on the Indian side by Professor Ashutosh Sharma, Secretary, Department of Science and Technology. Apart from these agreements, the following 11 agreements/MOUs were signed and exchanged on the sidelines of the visit. Number 1 is implementing arrangement for exchange of personnel between Indian Space Research Organization and the German Aerospace Center. Number 2 is a joint declaration of intent on cooperation in the field of civil aviation. Next, joint declaration of intent on cooperation within the International Smart Cities Network. Number 4 is also a joint declaration of intent between cooperation in the field of skills development and vocational education and training. Number 5 is a declaration of intent on strengthening economic cooperation in the field of startups. Number 6 is a joint declaration of intent on the establishment of bilateral cooperation projects regarding agriculture market development. Number 7 is a memorandum of understanding in the field of occupational diseases, rehabilitation, and vocational training of insured persons and workers with disabilities. Number 8 is a memorandum of understanding for cooperation in inland, coastal, and maritime technology. Number 9, memorandum of understanding to promote, establish, and expand scientific and technological research cooperation. Number 10, MOU on establishment of an academic collaboration in Ayurveda, yoga, and meditation. Number 11, addendum to the Memorandum of Understanding between India and Germany on cooperation in the field of higher education for extension of the period of Indo-German partnership in higher education. MOU between National Institute of Agricultural Extension Management and the German Agricultural Agency in the city of Neinberg on collaboration in agricultural, technical, and professional training. Number 13 is a joint declaration of intent between Siemens Limited India, the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, and the German Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development on skills for sustainable growth. Number 14 is a MOU on the extension of Indo-German partnership in higher education. Number 15 is a memorandum of understanding regarding cooperation between the National Museum, the National Gallery of Modern Art, the Indian Museum, Kolkata, the Prussian Cultural Heritage Foundation, and the Stiftung Humboldt Forum in Berliner Schloss. Number 16 is a memorandum of understanding between All India Football Federation and Deutscher Fußball-Bund. And number 17 is a statement of intent on the key elements of the Indo-German Migration and Mobility Partnership Agreement,